It's communicating, it's getting that ball on the backside, get in the middle of the field. Let's get between those hash marks. Don't second guess. Let it rain. As far as everything else goes, man, let's get out there and just support each other right from the start. All right, this right now is about this.
Hell yeah.
Right there, right there. Brothers on one mission. All right, one mission. And we're going to go on that field and we're going to play Buckeye lacrosse. Just segmenting it out the first 5 minutes, get out there and dominate. And when you see a guy dominate, let him know. Let him know! That's how we roll. 4, 1, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Their names define the sport of lacrosse at the highest level. 4 programs annually listed among the elite, linked not only by their past success, but by the expectations placed upon them.
So don't, for a second, doubt yourself. Just keep playing.
We have a long way to go, but it's paying attention to the details.
How great do you want to be?
Game time. It's in the bag, you better believe it. We all play for one reason, show out dominating this season. It's time. Take that dub with us, so we leaving. You not with us in the streets, and Braveheart turn it up for this season. Game time.
It's the season, 2018. Coach Meyer's Buckeyes began the 2018 campaign hot, and on a frigid day in March, OSU brought the boom to Marquette.
This is our shot. This unit does it together. 60 minutes. 1, 2, 3. Let's do this.
We're just about underway. The whistle blows and let's go.
The Buckeyes jumped out the gate, scoring 2 goals in the first 4 minutes.
Rolls inside and bounces one home for the Buckeyes.
But Marquette would quickly tie the game.
Fleming rips one into the back of the net.
John, a little higher, high, chip, and go.
For Ohio State, the game remained within reach, despite 2 goals by the Golden Eagles to end the third quarter.
1, 2, 3.
In the fourth, the Buckeyes would even it up thanks to scores from Jasinski and Buckley, forcing overtime.
Over to Buckley for the goal.
I love the way we're playing, all right? All right, I love it. Just continue the intensity. Let's come up with GBs the first time, get the ball down to our offense and play fast. It's worse than the tape. You gotta go out there and take it.
But with a minute left in the extra period, it was Marquette who would have the last laugh.
Wagner gets inside and scores! Marquette wins! What a finish in Pontiac, Michigan.
It was an uncharacteristic upset for the Buckeyes.
You're playing in Syracuse versus Hopkins, 2 of the most storied programs in the country. So what that means is when you step on that field, you give every single thing that you have. And you give it for the guys that are in here. We always talk about the guys that are in this huddle. And we always talk about it for a reason. Because these are the guys that are going to fight for you.
1, 2, 3.
Come on, Helm.
Perhaps the most difficult position for any leader to be in is on the sidelines. It was what was facing Nate Solomon as the Orange welcomed Hopkins to the Dome.
Really no way to tell on a collision at midfield. Trombolia right alley run. Step on huge and rips it home.
Solomon's 1-game suspension was applied after being ejected for a hit on Virginia's goalie at the Horn 1 week earlier. But he was determined to encourage his teammates.
Let's go, boy. Yeah, lefty.
Draws a man, dishes left. Bomberry, one more, and pounded home by Brendan Curry. Stanwyck open to the crease. Oh! A save by Madonna.
As has been the case at times early this season, the Orange defense could do little to stop the blistering Hopkins attack.
D. Simone through traffic, shoots it home. Quick stick to the crease, Marv from Stanwyck. It's a 10-goal game.
We've had worse games, had better. It happens.
It was another tough defeat for the Orange, who despite their talent has yet to find consistency.
The Blue Jays in a rout in the Dome and an absolute stunner.
Yep, I'll be back next week. Let's put this behind us. Let's go, so proud of you. All right, head up. The road to the top is not meant to be easy.
As the season marches on, so too does the pace. For the North Carolina Tar Heels, the tail end of a 3-game and 6-day stretch saw them welcome their biggest challenge yet to Kenan Memorial Stadium, the Denver Pioneers.
We talked about it the last 48 hours, about going out, playing loose, fast, and Carolina lacrosse. Let's get it from the get-go, boys, right? Right at them! Let's attack them, boys! 60 minutes, family on 3, 1, 2, 3! Come on, come on!
UNC's Alex Trippi opened the scoring just a few minutes into the game.
Atta baby, Trip! Way to touch her!
But Denver responded, racking up 6 unanswered goals of their own.
You just have to be decisive.
Let's make them uncomfortable. Don't let them just run wherever they want to. Play hard. Get it in them.
Midway through the third quarter, a UNC milestone was reached.
Cloutier with the finish.
Chris Cloutier scored his 100th collegiate goal.
Behind the cage, shot. We're seeing some good things out of number 1, Alex Trippy.
Despite UNC's defense limiting Denver to 4 goals in the second half, the offense couldn't keep pace as the weary Tar Heels fell for the first time this season. It was a teachable moment for Coach Bresci, who views every hurdle as an opportunity to grow.
Obviously, we lost the game, first loss of the year. Put you in a tough spot. 3 games in 6 days. Okay, that's a tough situation to be in. This is where you got to keep your chin up, man. You got to keep your chin up and keep plugging away. But we fought. We fought. And I told the defense, man, we're becoming a solid defensive group, man. Let's learn from this and let's move forward. That's what this is about, right? It's about making that next step, right? And preparing for the next game. That's all it's about.
When you look at the big games or tight game situations, which we've had so many this year, you know, you're constantly trying to build confidence in the guys, and you know, they know as they're looking at the coaching staff how we're reacting to situations, whether it's small or big or overtime or end of regulation. You know, we want to make sure that we're calm and composed and prepared. And I think we try to prepare ourselves for those tight games and type situations, and for us to execute down the stretch and as many as we have, it's been great. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the stats show, it's about what the final result is. So, you know, we're going to learn from it and move on. Drive down, I throw it back, I can roll back and throw it back, then I'm going down the goal line, right? 2-pass look, dodge, hit the guy at X, 2-man game behind Big Little. With me? Yes, sir. It comes down to preparing in these first half of the season with all the games that we do have against tough competition as you get set for the ACC. So, you know, for us, it's about preparation and hopefully prepare and be excited to, you know, to start the second half of the season, which is like a new season for us. Okay, your number gets called, you go out there and give it everything you have. And I know you're going to do that for us. Okay, hands in, baby. Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
As the 6-1 Blue Devils prepare to face Loyola, they're focused more on the fundamentals than their record.
One of the things that I believe in, and I know our coaching staff does too, in that this is a very spontaneous, creative game. But with that being said, you need a strong foundation in the fundamentals.
By preaching structure and discipline, the coaching staff hopes to mold their players into being better prepared for scoring opportunities.
The theme that we're trying to have this year is, you know, how can we play together? And playing together is becoming more important than, you know, who's guarding who.
Against Loyola, it would take a solid effort on both sides of the field.
Here's a shot and goal, stuck on through, John Duffy.
Down 2-1 after the first, Duke regrouped and rallied, scoring 4 unanswered to end the half with a 6-4 lead.
Duke gets one through, passed over. Smith, a tough pass, the shot and goal. There's a shot and somehow got through. Peter Conley.
And in the second half, Duke continued their bruising style of play, holding Loyola to 9 goals on the day and earning their first road win against an opponent with whom the Blue Devils share a lot of history.
They had a pull on Brad for most of the game, and I kind of just took advantage of the short stick matchup and was able to get my hands free close to the goal.
Pete and I were getting the matchups, so a lot of the offense was generated from above the goal. So Pete and I just kind of had to step up for the team. That's kind of what we did.
Everybody's a work in progress in March, and they're not as good as they're going to be. And every game is a learning experience, and the hope is that they watch film and, you know, critically, you know, look at themselves and say, hey, you know, this is where I was then, this is where I am now, but this is where I need to be as our conference schedule begins.
We're just trying to get everybody a little bit better, and then the team will become better as a whole.
In Denver, a few of the traveling Buckeyes began the day not focused on the outside, but within.
This week, I was actually on the plane coming here and came across an old sermon that I'd listened to. I was looking at some of the notes, and I just really liked it. So thought I'd share with you guys some of the things that I had taken away from it. Romans 8:37 through 39 says, "No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us." And that's just encouraging for me to know that, whether going through good times or bad times, and we're called to glorify him, we're not going to be perfect at it, and we're going to have things that are just going to, attack us. Nothing can separate us from the love of God as long as our faith is in him. Whether you're on Grace Squad, a starter, or getting playing time you think you deserve, or whatever, those things, cloud our thoughts, but it's wherever we are, whatever circumstances, wherever we're going through, just know that, all we're called to do is glorify him. I was looking at those notes, and I thought that would be, encouraging for us today, and, as we go into game time. Yeah.
Upstairs, attackman Trey LeClaire was focused as he made his own final preparations.
Yeah, a little nerves, I think, for everybody, but, it's a big game for us out here, definitely a away game. And I think we're just, we're really prepared and just looking forward to our opportunities today. Yeah, this is about our midway point, so I'd say hopefully get the dub today. And, Denver being an opponent that, we have a bit of a rivalry with over the couple of years, so it's definitely a big game for us.
For the Buckeyes, a quick start has given way to 2 consecutive losses. They look to right the ship against Denver. For Coach Nick Myers, effort was the word of the day.
23, 35, 44.
Yeah, baby.
Light the match, man. Light it up. Cannot wait to get all over that defense. Let's attack this thing right from the start. Got a ton of belief. We are a long way from home. Take a good look around this huddle. That's what you got. That's what you're going to rely on today to get this thing done. Every guy in here. Let's get out there. Let's get this thing done. Fernie, take us out. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Boom. Let's go get this thing done. What do you say, boys?
On the opening faceoff, Denver's Trevor Baptiste single-handedly welcomed the Buckeyes to the Mile High City.
Trevor Baptiste gets Denver started with an exclamation point right out of the gate. 10 seconds in.
Go. Hey, next play's coming up our way. Boom on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Somehow trickles in from the far side post.
And in the first half, the Buckeyes grabbed a 5-3 lead.
They got one off the face, and they got one on a silly one, all right? So we got to make sure that we do a great job keeping them off the board.
Checked off his route, finds it open and shoots and scores. Far side. Wide open, shoots and scores.
All right, we got to be on the same page. All right, we got to do a great job supporting each other. And then on the offensive end, we got to keep peppering this kid. All right, we're going to win this game if we do those things. There's not a doubt in my mind. We should have a ton of confidence in each other. Stick to the plan, stick to the things that we worked on all week long. 30 minutes of that gets you a win. There is no doubt.
There's a shot. Connor Donahue from the near side fires and scores. And Denver with a blitz out of the gate in the second half.
But in the third quarter, 5 unanswered Denver goals gave them a comfortable margin.
Shoots and scores! Denver's offense an avalanche of momentum right now. It's 7 straight Denver goals.
Ball hits your stick, make one move, and get it on the cage. We're doing too much dancing around. One hitch, one move, shot. Hey, it's all about being a Buckeye.
Shot from the outside, that goes in. Freddie Freibach.
And the second half momentum carried Denver to a 12-7 victory.
The horn sounds, the Pioneers win it.
It's been said good teams don't lose, they learn. And for Coach Myers and the Buckeyes, the lessons learned on Saturday afternoons in March hope to build the foundation for success in May.
There's not something in here that we're looking around and say we don't have this or that to be competitive. That's a positive, and you prove that. You've proven that all year. I mean, there's nobody we don't feel like we can play with. No one we've stepped on the field with, from Carolina to Duke, Denver today, that we're overwhelmed by. That's not our issue. There's intensity during the week. There's intensity on game day. I think what you have to understand is what I saw today in the third. It wasn't boom. There was some bickering. There was guys getting outside of themselves.
We didn't rally, you know, and it starts with me. You know, that's certainly something that I got to look inside. But our biggest opponent is ourselves. There is no doubt. We got to make sure that we love each other first, and that we appreciate the fact that effort is being put in almost every case. Do we want to take that next step as a ball club, right, to what it takes to win these types of games, all right? Because errors are going to take place, all right? But doing things that we don't do, going outside of who we are consistently, play after play, is our enemy. That's our enemy. We have to discipline ourselves to play Buckeye lacrosse to the best of our ability and chase our best lacrosse as a lacrosse family. See a guy with his head down, you pat him on the back, all right? And we're going to be proud, all right? Right now, this is a tough moment, right? There is no doubt. Losing is not acceptable, all right? It's not something we're ever going to accept. We got to make sure we get down to the nitty-gritty of why, when we will, but make sure we love each other in the journey and the process, all right? Let's go. Boom on 3. 1, 2, 3, boom!
The season is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And for the Ohio State Buckeyes, Duke Blue Devils, Syracuse Orange, and the North Carolina Tar Heels, the team that will emerge as a contender is not who is unblemished in March, but rather who has been tested, forging their will and determination based on the battles they've overcome. 4 teams, 4 different journeys. The season races on.